Hey Bowlers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yochan and I make content on Pokemon Go. So for today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to catch charge moves in the initial battle versus mid to late game. So I'll be splitting the video accordingly. So the timestamps will be in the description box below should you need to rewind or fast forward to the parts that you want to see. And the teams that I'm using my Drifblim lineup as well as my Dewgong lineup, which I featured in a previous video if you want to see more of that. But we're going to focus on catching charge moves rather than looking into team comps. The first Pokemon that we're going to be looking at is Alolan Raichu in the lead, and what you want to do is that you want to count the volt switches as it's hitting your Pokemon. So 1, 2, 3, and you want to switch right after you count the third one. So this is just a Thunder Punch, and I wanted to catch it on my Cradily because the rock typing on Cradily resists the electric typing. So the second Pokemon that we're going to be looking at is Azumarill, which is super easy to count. Everybody knows the counts by now, which is 5, 6, and 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the reason why I switch on 5 is because 5 is always an Ice Beam, 6 is the Play Rough, and then 7 is a Hydro Pump. Now I don't want to get hit by an Ice Beam on my Drifblim, so I catch it on my Hitmontop instead. So the third Pokemon is going to be a Politoed, and I'm on Dewgong, so I'll be trying to catch an Earthquake since Weather Ball is resisted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it only takes 8 mud shots to get to an Earthquake if this Politoed has the move. It's just a Weather Ball, which is fine. I want to apologize for the weird clicking noises in number 4. I don't know what happened to the audio, but it fixes itself in number 5. Catching charge moves in the mid to late game is a lot harder than it looks because you really have to keep track of how much energy the opponent has. Because sometimes they'll either switch out or they'll throw a charge move after like 1 or 2 fast moves after they've already reached it. So I'm fast forwarding this initial battle between my Dewgong and the opponent's Azumarill just because it's very drawn out and I don't need to catch anything here because Dewgong wins against Azumarill. So all I have to do is shield the first play rough. And the Azumarill is obviously not going to shield anything, so they're going to lose but have a shield advantage. So we're just waiting to see what they bring out. So they have an AWAC. 1, 2, it's already at 2 fire spins, but I'm going to throw this water pulse. 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 for Shadow Ball and 5 for Shadow Bone. So we don't know yet if this AWAC is a Shadow Bone variant or a Shadow Ball variant. But I'm keeping in mind that it has 6 fire spins. I'm going to go into my AWAC and just farm down this Ferrothorn because their AWAC now has energy and I need to make sure that I have a move ready for their AWAC. Okay, I farmed up to 1.5 of the Shadow Bone. I'm going to throw right away. Since I went first, I think I have a higher attack stat. They shield that. I'm going to shield this as well. There's no reason for them to bait. It's a Shadow Ball, so now they're energy dry. So they have 1 fire spin in. I'm throwing this Bone Club right away because I'm hoping that they have no idea how much energy I have. Okay, so they shielded that. Great. 2, 3, 4, 5. I switch right away on my Vigoroth because I know that It takes 6 to get to the first Shadow Ball and 5 to get to the second Shadow Ball. So it is a Shadow Ball. And they no bubbled that because they knew that I caught it. And that's GG for the first match. For this last battle, I'll be using my Drifblim lineup, even though the algorithm loves giving me terrible leads, such as this Galarian Stunfisk. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually lagged on the switch there, so I ended up catching it on the 5th mud shot instead of the 4th mud shot. So I just have to keep in mind that they now have 1 extra mud shot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they now have 6 mud shots banked on their Galarian Stunfisk. You'll notice that higher up in the ranks, people will be more cautious about throwing their charge moves right away, hence why that person ended up throwing on 5 mud shots instead of 4 mud shots. And I'm not going to bother counting the fast moves from this defense form Deoxys because they're both locked in right now. And I'm also not going to try to win switch here, even though I have a bad lead, because what I'm planning to do is that I'm going to try to catch another Rock Slide from the Galarian Stunfisk onto my Hitmontop. I wasn't able to get to the charge move, so I'm just gonna get some energy on my Drifblim. The Stunfisk is throwing right away, so now they only have 2 mud shots banked. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The reason why I switched on 7 is because I was thinking that the person was planning on throwing back-to-back rock slides since they know that I have a shield. Since they failed that and I caught the rock slide, I'm 100% sure that they're gonna try to go for an earthquake now. And they're so low right now, so there's no reason for them to not go for an earthquake. And I'm gonna shield my Hitmontop because I have so much energy right now, and I'm able to counter all the way down. It's a Shiftry in the back, so I'm gonna throw these close combats back to back to get both the shields. I don't know if you noticed, but the Shiftry was able to get 2 snarls in, so I'm thinking that they'll be able to get their 3rd snarl in after the 2nd close combat, so I'll try to catch the Leaf Blade on my Drifblim. I actually misclicked again. Actually, no, I didn't misclick the first time. I lagged the first time, but I misclicked, so I wasn't able to catch the Leaf Blade. But it's fine because I have back-to-back Icy Winds on my Drifblim. So yeah, this will be a GG for my opponent.